The waterfront in Dublin is filled with lots of old and new buildings. The Halfpenny Bridge in Dublin is the oldest pedestrian bridge and was built in May 1816 over the Liffey River. It's constructed of cast iron.
I am more than excited to learn about the Irish history, and I'm at the EPIC Irish Immigration Museum, which is, this is really a miracle. And Mervyn Green, you are the museum director. What does EPIC mean?
EPIC is an acronym for Every Person is Connected. But it also describes the journey that a lot of people would have had to have taken, perhaps not from the 1960s or 70s onwards, but Irish immigration's really been happening for 1,500 years since St. Brendan and others that essentially were leaving Ireland in curraghs. So the journey that people would have had to have taken up to about the 1960s or 70s would have been an ocean journey. In the 1600s would have been weeks to get to America, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, Canada, wherever they, or even days to get to the United Kingdom,
so you're everywhere,
etc. So the Irish are everywhere, yes. In fact, the stats we have is we have a country that has roughly 6 million people today. More than 10 million people emigrated from Ireland over the last 1,000 years or so.
To Australia, to America,
absolutely,
to
yes,
everywhere.
To everywhere. And the estimates are that somewhere north of 70 million people claim Irish ancestry in a meaningful way.
You're very welcome to EPIC the Irish Immigration Museum in the heart of the CHQ building in Dublin's Docklands. My name's Colin and I'm very glad to have you down here in the first gallery of EPIC the Irish Immigration Museum, where we tell the story of the Irish diaspora, a 75 million strong community of people around the world that share Irish connections. The first part of every emigrant's journey is going through an immigration station, like the one we have here, made to resemble the famous immigration station at Ellis Island in New York, where Annie Moore would have been the first lady to go through its gates. She received a $12 gold piece. The touchscreens in these pods tell the story of over 300 Irish immigrants, and we explore their adventures, such as, here we see the story of Constantine Scollin, who emigrated from Fermanagh to the Canadian prairies, where he interacted with tribes of Canadian natives. The night before leaving, they're bidding goodbye. It's early next morning, their hearts give a sigh. They do kiss their mothers and then they do say, "Fare thee well, dearest father, we must now go away." That's a line from the traditional Irish ballad, Thousands Are Sailing, which tells the story of the droves of people leaving from the ports around Ireland off to their new lives. Here we talk about hunger, work and community, three of the most important factors that drove people from the land and disperse them around the world. Though Ireland has always been a neutral nation, we found ourselves over the years taking part in wars and conflict all over the world. In this room we use this innovative table to tell the story of these individual fighters. Take for example, Spitfire Paddy, who fought against the Nazis in World War II. Brendan Finucane, or Spitfire Paddy as he was known, flew against the Nazis in World War II and gained the reputation as the terror of the Nazis. Dubliner Brendan Finucane painted a green shamrock on the cockpit of his Spitfire plane. His fame flew to the USA, where his photo appeared on the front page of newspapers with the headlines, "Flying Shamrock, Terror of the Nazis." Katie Casey went to all the games. She knew the players by their first names. Katie Casey may be a fictional Irish immigrant, but her presence in the song "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" shines a light on Irish participation in sporting franchises all over America. As you can see beside me, we got the New York GAA jersey. That celebrates the connection between New York and the only Irish football final to be ever played outside of Ireland. In the Polo Grounds, New York City, Sunday 14th of September 1947, Cavan took on Kerry. In this room we highlight Irish involvement in the political landscape around the world. Would you believe that 22 American presidents claim Irish descent, including George Washington, John F. Kennedy and of course Barack Obama. The paternal grandmother of Barack Obama, Fal McCartney, emigrated from Dublin in 1850 and made her way to New York.
Our spirit is eternally refreshed by Irish story and Irish song. So you could say there's always been a little green behind the red, white, and blue.
It was in 2011, during a state visit, that Obama visited the birthplace of his great-great-great-grandmother, a small town on the border of Tipperary and Offaly called Moneygall. Here a local photographer snapped him taking a big gulp of a pint of Guinness, and he looked like he really enjoyed it.
And when was the potato famine?
Potato famine started around about 1845.
Oh,
And it went on for 5 or 6 years. And the stats there, we do cover the famine in EPIC, but it's only really 5 years of 1500, but the numbers are a bit scary. There are 8 million people in the population before the famine. 2 million emigrated over the next 10 years, and at least 1 million died of starvation.
horrible.
And there were, in 1961, there were less than 3 million people in Ireland. Now we're back up to about 6 million, including Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland now.
The waterfront also has a collection of famine statues that stand in the harbor.
This is a replica of the Jeannie Johnston ship, and it was known as the famine ship because many people during the potato famine traveled to America. There were about 180 people on this, and many died, unfortunately.
You know, while you're in Dublin, don't forget to visit the Temple Bar for a pint of Guinness.
This is the Temple Bar. It's the most popular bar. It's where all the action, it's where you can come for a Guinness. Everybody loves a Guinness in Ireland.
Drafton Street is the principal hippie street in Dublin centre. The bronze statue in the centre of Dublin is dedicated to their favorite son of rock and roll, best known as the frontman of Tin Lizzy.
We just discovered the undiscovered Munster region of Ireland, and it is unbelievable. The countryside, the bicycle rides, all the wonderful treasures of this region. I'm now in Dublin, and this is a great city. It's a capital, and this is Drafton Street, where all the shopping goes on. Until next week, I'm John Haggins, the Globetrotter. I'll see you then. So long for now. Remember, get up, get out, and travel.
I hope you enjoyed Ireland as much as I did. I look forward to seeing you next week at another colorful destination. So long for now.